point last year, you hadn't really been the full-time starter yet,
right.
But yet everyone knew who you were. What have these last 13 months been like for you, 14 months been like for you, and now you've already committed to go to Tennessee. What has it been like this last year and a half?
Well, I mean, it's been pretty tough just coming off an injury. Had a pretty bad wrist injury, but really back to 100% full recovery. And like I said before, we can't really wait to get back on the field with the team and get back to things the way they should be.
Whenever I talk about the top players in the Tri-State area, your name comes up and people say, well, how good is he really? You know, and how much do you feel like this season you're going to have to go out there and prove something to yourself and to people who've never seen you play?
Well, I think that I'm a very good football player, and I think that there's a lot of room to grow, and I'm really excited just to get better each and every day and really get on the field and just prove to people why Bergen Catholic and myself are one of the best programs and players really in the country.
High school student athletes carry a great deal of responsibility and commitment on their shoulders. Not only do they have to work hard to excel in the classroom, but they also have to display the same type of work ethic and dedication in order to be successful on the field. In addition to their commitment as student athletes, some may also be involved with other activities within their community. For Mark Sylvester and Chad DeRupo, what they do with their spare time outside of Lenape Valley Regional High School is unique, to say the least.
I mean, it's definitely unique, and that's a good word for it. I mean, a lot of people try to help around the community nowadays, and I think that's big for our high school students. But I mean, you know, some people, I know people who are part of the, like EMT squads and things like that. And I feel like this is just where I come into place. This is my role, and this is what I like to do. I enjoy it.
I feel like it's way more unique than what others do. When you talk to other people, you're always like, yeah, I did some community service at my dad's job or something. Like I went and like picked up trash off the road. But you never really hear some kids say, yeah, I'm a firefighter. I go in to like save people's lives. Like you never really hear that.
This past summer, Chad DeRupo and Mark Sylvester took a 5-week course to become certified firefighters. So to go along with their commitment of being student athletes, Chad and Mark were looking to become an important part of their community in Netcong, New Jersey.
I think from a distance, people think they know Rashawn Gary. Every offer in the country. What don't we know about you? We know you didn't play Pop Warner football, you swam. What don't we know? Is there anything you fear in life? Spiders, snakes, is there anything out there?
Bugs? I do not like bugs. I really don't like bugs. I was at my quarterback's house, Alan Walsh's, and there was a spider on the floor. He told me to kill it. I told him no. So I'm scared of bugs. Keep them away from me.
You know, you came here at a special time for Paramus Catholic. They had won back-to-back state championships virtually out of nowhere. It was on the backs of some great players. We all know Jabril Peppers. He's now at Michigan. But it was the game plan of a wonderful football coach, Chris Partridge, a guy that was controversial, he was combustible, but when push comes to shove, that cat could coach football. He's now at Michigan. Does that present any bit of an advantage to Michigan? I mean, is it hard not to take a hard look at Michigan with a guy you really like and Coach Partridge there?
Oh, yes, sir. That's my coach. Of course, the type of defensive scheme I like to play in. It's a guy that I could come to, talk to about anything, personal things when it comes to school. So, his word means a lot, and he wouldn't lead me to a place that, wouldn't fit me.
The month of August is when most high school football teams are wrapping up camp, and the start to a new season is on the horizon. For Pompton Lakes at that time, the upcoming season wasn't the only thing on their minds. The focus was shifted elsewhere. The East Coast was in the immediate path of Hurricane Irene.
We had the flood before that in the spring. So a lot of the parents and kids were just getting their stuff back together, and then all of a sudden you turn around and see this coming. You can just tell by the track, and you were watching it, it was going to be bad. And then, they took some precautions, they tried some things that haven't been tried. They tried lowering the lake, and then it kept raining, and then came back into town a little later, and then you could just see what was going on, and you knew it was going to be really bad.
The damage in New Jersey due to Hurricane Irene was devastating. Homes were destroyed, streets were flooded, and major power outages crippled the rest of the state. Unfortunately for Pompton Lakes, the town was on the front page of most newspapers and the site for most news broadcasts, showing how bad the damage really was. Still in the midst of disaster, there was a football season to be played. The community came together as hundreds of members from around the town pitched in to help. The Cardinals had endured a 3-7 season in 2010-11. Its last state title was in 2005, and they were hungry for another one. One of the key returning players for George Cowan's team was junior defenseman Brendan Schreiber. Brendan was being looked upon as the team's defensive anchor and shared the same expectations as his teammates to turn their fortune around. As Brendan was gearing up for the new season, he had received news in March about a lump he had discovered under his armpit. It came back positive for Hodgkin's disease.
At that moment, I wanted to throw up, but after that, it's kind of weird just thinking how, I have cancer. It was just kind of a weird thought.
We wanted to know about how he was feeling, and we looked it up, and we found out that it was pretty curable, and that our next question after that was, can he play?
And play he can, all the while going through chemotherapy and taking medication that would make him both sick and tired. Brendan was able to put his helmet and shoulder pads on in an effort to help his team achieve their goals. His parents wanted nothing more than normalcy for their son, and he wanted nothing more than to be on the field with his teammates. Back in 1978, a sharpshooting legendary Hopatcon guard wearing number 15 set the all-time school scoring record. Dennis Tobin finished his career with 2,091 points. Now history was about to be rewritten. Another sharpshooting guard wearing number 15, Matt Tobin, entered Tuesday night's game against Wallkill Valley, bearing down on the coveted mark set by his dad 33 years ago. Right from the start, Tobin did not disappoint. Matt hit the floor on fire, scoring every way imaginable. Tobin went 5 for 7 from the field, including 2 for 3 from three-point range. Late in the first, he stood at the free throw line with a chance to tie Dad's mark. In the early minutes of the second, the magical moment finally arrived. Tobin drove the lane and released a floater, which danced along the rim before finally dropping in. 2,093 career points, an all-time Hopatcon record.
I mean, when I came out here for the 2000, it was weighing on my mind, and then before the game, my dad just told me to stay focused. You don't worry about it, your shots will come, and that's how it happened.